Well, greetings. I'd like to tell you a little story that took place some 50 years ago, right up these stairs. Right up these stairs at the very top here. Okay, now right behind the stairs is used to have a curtain. Now I got it blocked off to keep from having to heat most the house. Oh, I don't understand this camera, why it keeps going in and out. Just crazy. But anyway, my cousin Kevin and I, little tots we was at the time, sitting up at the top of the stairs. He was not in the greatest graces of my grandmother at the time. He had been chewed out pretty rashly and told that his mother, who had died right after he was born, would come and visit him and take care of him, which was a threat, that was given to him on many occasions because, boys will be boys. Anyway, we're up there at the top of the stairs, and we had one of those record players, okay, that came like a little suitcase. You open it up, and it would fit a 78 or a 45 on there, whatever. And we were listening to a new released record, which we seldom got. It was seldom we got something that was completely new. We always were a little on the poor side. But I believe it was like the Partridge Family. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but I'm thinking it was about, I think I love you, so what am I so afraid of? A love there is no cure for. Da-na-na-na-na-na. All that kind of stuff. Well, we're listening there, and we're bebopping to it. We probably listened to it 20 times already, playing it again, and all of a sudden, the arm skipped on the record. Yeah, I think and what am I so, that kind of deal. And we're like, huh? Well, we kept listening. The arm skipped again across the record, and we're like, huh? This ain't right. We're looking at the arm, and it just, again. And Kevin grabbed the cover and slammed it down. It was like one of the 45s, little guys. So it came right over without breaking. The 78s are bigger, and they kind of exceeded the borderlines by about an inch. This was a smaller record. Slammed down the cover, and sitting behind the record player was this pair of burlap shoes that had pushed it out, and the curtain there is like, right up to the tongue of the shoe, I guess you could say, of each shoe. And these stairs back here, I don't think Kevin and I even touched coming down. We was down those stairs running that away, screaming, the shoes, the this, the that. Boy, we were pretty freaked out. Well, anyway, my grandma, who is dearly departed, and she's sleeping in the earth right now, waiting for our King to resurrect her and bring her back to where she'll be tested and tried, and hopefully we'll all be in the kingdom together. But anyway, they went upstairs, my aunts, my uncle, and others went upstairs. They went through every box. I mean, every box there was. And there's a large space up there that was primarily attic. And that's where the drape came there. It was attic behind us. And the very last box they looked in on the far corner, on the very bottom of the last corner they searched, the very bottom box that they looked at, the last one, had them pair of burlap shoes in it. So you think what you think. I'm telling you what occurred some 50 years ago. And this was just a part. This was a molecule in the iceberg of my life. The tests, the trials, the evidence of things not seen that I seen. Okay, same thing with most of my life. I was kind of like the Sixth Sense child. I see dead people. I didn't know there was dead people. And they weren't. They were actually demons, and that's what ghosts are. If you think a relative came back and visited you, you're sadly mistaken. I'll make a video about this, but it was an imposter that came because your dead relative's in the ground. Otherwise, why is it that our Creator said to Cain, I hear the voice of Abel calling out from the ground? Well, why didn't he say, hey man, I got Abel right here next to me, you sorry sucker. Why did you hit him in the head with a rock? What was the purpose of that? He's standing right here next to me. He didn't say that. He said he heard the voice of the blood. And in the blood is the life. Okay, but we'll get into this sometime shortly. I've attempted it many times, but Satan gives me a hard time. Don't want me to let you know exactly what she is in her kingdom, and that when your mama dies, your daddy dies, your grandma, grandpa dies, aunt, uncle, friend, or whatever dies, that they go into the grave and they know nothing, they see nothing, they can't curse and they cannot bless, they cannot be thankful, and they cannot turn away. They're dead. They're worm food. Otherwise, why would our king bother coming back to raise the dead if you died, you already went to heaven or hell? What is the purpose of a resurrection, even for those that think there's a rapture? What is the purpose of a resurrection if you already died and you're already in heaven or hell or purgatory or any place else, enjoying a place in a closed session with your 36 virgins because you blew yourself up in a mob of whoever's non-believers to what you believe? What is the purpose of our king coming again? If you're already there, if you've been dead. And if you've been dead and you can come back, why didn't you come back and help more to let us know we should respect our elders? That we should do the things that we should do. If you read in Luke chapter 16, for crying out loud, it talks about, the rich man and the poor man. The rich man was a preacher. He was dressed in these great garments of honor and glory. And he said, if you just touch my tongue with a drip of water to refresh my tongue with your law, with the water that our king said he came to give us, that if we asked for it, he'd give it to us, that we'd never thirst again. Well, that preacher forgot it. It had nothing to do with him being in heaven, hell, or purgatory. Everything our king said in the first place was a parable. Think about that. And think about what went on up here on these stairs. It was pretty scary. But, demons no longer here because I live here now. There was one that was out here in the living room there, the whatever room. Kitchen's off to that away, but not up, but straight across. And this little demon came in, and I asked it to leave politely so that I didn't have to have it taken to early judgment, and it left as they normally will Otherwise, they forcefully be removed. And the same can go on with you. All you got to do is keep the laws and the commandments, and you could tell those demons to get thee hence, and guess what they'll do? They will obey. None here anymore. Why are there any in your house? If you really need help, give me, a comment down here, and I might just make a video for you so that you can get rid of those little critters. But you got to start keeping these commandments. You got to start living by what our Father said to live by, and our King, who did nothing against what our Father said. He died for it. He died for every word our Father spoke. And then he became the every living word. Nothing was changed. Read Matthew chapter 5, 17 to 21. It'll tell you. Think not. Don't even think it. Don't contemplate it. Don't consider it. It's just not going to take place, man. Do not think that I have come to do away with the law. He didn't. He keeps it still. That's why he's seated at the right hand of the Father, because he obeyed the Father. And if you obey the Father will give you to the Son. And you can see some of that, in the other videos I made, and maybe I'll just bring that out a little more clearly here shortly. Until then, till we meet again, enjoy maple sap. I made a video on how to make it yourself. Oh, this is so refreshing. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, feels like 2 in the afternoon, and this is tremendous stuff, man. It's beautiful. See you later, and may Yahshua bless each and every one of you who seek him with a true heart.